Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here, and today at the 2024 Subaru Forester Sport in the crystal white pearl. So I get asked the time, where does the Sport sit in the lineup? It is a step above our Touring and a step below, well, it branches off from the Touring, and I would say it's a step below the Limited. I'd say it's a step below the Wilderness as well in terms of features. Aesthetically, you've got the orange highlights on the Sport, which you, of course, see down there at the bottom on the front bumper. We also get the exclusive vertical LED fog light. So that's exclusive to the Sport as well as the Premier. Same style headlights, those smaller, more aggressively styled LED headlights. And, of course, we get this blacked out front grille. And, of course, this is the facelift version that they received. SUV styling that you get in the Forester, that big boxy squareness. So it's powered by a 2.5-liter four-cylinder boxer engine, produces 182 horsepower, get really good fuel economy out of it, 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, which is plenty. It's more than most half-ton pickups, which is crazy to think about. So wheels on it, 18-inch black painted wheels, a little dirty. I was just out on a drive with this one. And of course we have that cladding around the wheel well, and that protects the paint around it. It doesn't rust. We've got turn signals integrated into our mirrors, and of course body color mirrors, orange highlight along the bottom. We also get the orange highlights up top. Now, the highlights are where our tie downs are located. So if you get crossbars and you're securing something, tie your rope, put your bungee through there. Very, very convenient. But yeah, I'll give you that look. So it's that traditional SUV boxy style look. Lots of people like it. You sit very tall in it. You've got huge windows, so there are virtually no blind spots in this Forester, and I find a lot of people really like the visibility out of these. Not that the visibility in the other Subarus is poor, this is just amazing. Now, fuel door is on the rear passenger side, as is all Subarus. Just push to open it. If you lock it, a pin shoots out of there and locks in here. So there is no release lever inside. It is tied directly to your driver door. Come around the back. We have that black metallic painted strip between the taillights. Kind of stands out on the lighter colors. You don't notice it so much on the blue or the black. But yeah, black painted. Very, very shiny. Sport badge in orange. And of course, we get the finisher on the rear bumper. Now, in the rear bumper, we do have those little black circles. Those are your backup sensors, and they'll apply the brakes if it thinks you're going to hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. It also does rear cross traffic alert, all that safety tech. Backup cameras right there. And in the Forester, behind the second row, big boxy square rear end lends itself to a ton of storage. Very tall, wide, and deep. Privacy cover is standard equipment. Hides everything from the top of the seats down. Just locks in those little tabs. This is removable. This privacy cover is removable. It's just a telescopic piece. You can actually tuck it underneath the cargo tray here, underneath this false floor. And you can kind of see where it's supposed to go across. The first time you do that, it is a little bit of a challenge, or can be, but it's really not a big deal after you've done it once or twice. We've got a little bit of storage underneath here. We've got some of our spare tire tools, and underneath this styrofoam tray, we've got the tire, our jack, our recovery eye bolt for other vehicles, and the rest of the tools needed. We have our physical hard mount tie downs in each corner, easy to secure awkward cargo. We've got grocery bag hooks on either side, and we also have 12-volt power point for any charging needs you may have. Now, these seats do fold down, they go virtually flat, and you simply lift, and it flips forward. So, not hard to do. It is a little easier to do from the second row if you're going in through the door. And of course, that one would fold flat, but that front passenger seat is reclined a little bit more. So I'm gonna go fix that, I'll be right back. And I'm back. So folding those seats down, I have just dramatically increased the amount of storage that I have in this Forester. Plenty of length, you can camp in it. I've got lots of people who camp in their Subarus. I'll just take this out, give you guys a real good look. So I just push it over to one side, and yeah, absolutely massive amount of storage, which is fantastic. More volume in the Forester than the Outback if you're stacking things to the roof. We have grocery bag hooks, but I don't know if I'd put groceries on them. I'd probably only use it if I was stationary. There's an LED cargo light right there, along with our, where is it? Third seat belt, the middle person. Got a little hook. And a LED cargo light right there too. Now, to close it, I can close it from here. I can close and lock it if it wasn't running. I can pull down. I can do it from the key fob. I can do it from the driver door, or the driver's seat, I should say. I shouldn't say from the door. Of course, for 24, they've done gloss black spoiler and gloss black shark fin antenna. Second row, let's see, virtually flat. There's a slight angle. I mean, you put a little bit of weight and they do go down a little bit more. So if you're camping on it, putting any weight, it does go more flat. Not that the incline is a whole bunch. Seats go up super easy. Got our Subaru snow brush. Sport is cloth, light and gray two-tone. You've got leather bolstering with the sport cloth, that light gray sport cloth. So I wouldn't say it's any more comfortable or any more durable than the other cloth you find in the touring and the base, but it is very nice. Orange contrast stitching on the inside. And look at that. There's an amazing amount of headroom, an amazing amount of legroom in the second row. Like, tall people fit back here comfortably. There's no issues with that. Fold down armrest with integrated cup holders. We have vents out of the center console, 2 USB ports for charging. And we have map back pockets on the backs of both front seats, and they've broken those into 3 portions. This is a grippy step. So they've done that. Instead of standing on the tire, which sits inside the fender, they want you to stand on that if you're putting anything on the roof. Makes it easier. And if I'm standing on the tire at the back here, if I go straight up, I'm right at the back. I'm probably leaning over, put myself in a precarious situation. Rear door card, soft touch, same sport cloth, little sport badge, soft touch armrest. Really nice door handles. Now, I can't show this, but there's a little bulge out here, so it's easy to wrap your fingers in so your hands aren't going to slip off that. It feels nice when you're going to close it. Contrast stitching, bottle holder with a little bit of storage if you need it. Easy to use child lock. Now, it's for each individual door. Just because I lock this doesn't mean that the passenger side door is locked. You have to lock that one separately. It is a proximity key, so the key just needs to be on my person. To lock it, I just touch those lines. And then to unlock it, I just put my hand in the handle. It's running right now, so it won't do that. If I touch the lines, it's going to beep at us. Don't know if the mic's picking that up, but it beeps to let you know that it's running and you can't lock it. Front door card looks very similar to that of the rear. The soft touch, the sport badge, the same handle. We've got front 2 auto windows, rear 2 are just constant control. Window lock, mirror adjustment. There's a little bit more storage along with a slightly larger bottle holder. Driver's seat is, of course, power with lumbar, and it's the same seating material up front as it is in the second row. Very, very comfortable seats, and even with the sunroof, there's tons of headroom. It is the panoramic style sunroof, huge. And you've got adjustable headrests. So depending how close to the back of your head you like your headrest, it is adjustable. By the driver's left knee, we have the ability to open the rear hatch. We can turn off the steering responsive headlights. We can set a memory height for the tailgate, so if we don't want it to open all the way, we can set that to a specific height. Scroll wheel for the brightness of your gauges. We've got traction control, which we can turn off. We can turn off the auto start stop. And then this is our blind spot detection / cross traffic alert. And we can disable that. Show you what that looks like in a second here. So I'm just going to hop in. Even on the dash, orange contrast stitching, but turn off the blind spot. And pretty much anything in orange on Subaru's dash indicates something is turned off, deactivated, or cautioned. So that right there, the one on the right, that's a little snowflake on the road. That's just saying, hey, it may be a temperature that is slick, that makes it slick out. Be careful. Then, of course, cross traffic alert, blind spot detection, automatic emergency steering, deactivated. So blind spot detection is in our side mirrors. We have little black squares, and they'll illuminate like so on the corresponding side when someone is in your blind spot or going to be in your blind spot. But speaking of blind spots, visibility in this Forester is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, obviously, it's hard to tell from a video. If you have a chance to hop in one, I do recommend it. It's absolutely fantastic. Steering wheel adjustment, bottom left of the steering column, pull down. I have both tilt and telescopic. Fits drivers of varying heights, leg, and arm lengths. Steering wheel, orange contrast stitching. Orange is that highlight color. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, we have our audio controls, Bluetooth, make and take calls, accept calls, hang up calls, switch from AM to FM to satellite to USB, etc. Switch between presets, and then volume is on a toggle up and down, which is nice. Info will change our small display up there, which I'll show you in a minute. Right-hand side, we have our adaptive cruise and our lane centering. Now, both of those use these two black boxes, those color stereo eyesight cameras, to look for pedestrians, cyclists, road lines, and other vehicles. It also does things like automatic emergency braking and lane sway assist. But when I turn on the adaptive cruise, again, image of the Forester there, and you'll notice there's 3 bars ahead of it now. 4. The bars are the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you'll follow at if you catch up while using cruise. Absolutely fantastic for highway driving. You don't catch up to people. You're not riding their tail. It's great. Fantastic. I do recommend it. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet. So a good safe distance. Lane centering here. Turn that on. You get the little image of the steering wheel and those gray lines. Those gray lines will illuminate white when the eyesight cameras can see the road lines on the corresponding side, whether that's one or both. And when it does that, if you start getting close to the line, it actually gives you gentle steering input to keep you off of the line, keep you centered in your lane. Again, I didn't think I was going to be a big fan of it. It's absolutely fantastic. You're way less fatigued at the end of a long day of driving using that. I didn't think I'd like it, but it works amazingly. Sport gets intelligent and sport sharp drive mode. So this is exclusive to the sport and the wilderness. And you can see down here next to the P for park says I for intelligent. Oh, sport sharp. And you can see that pink line is definitely more aggressive than the blue line. So you're going to go faster sooner. You're going to sit at a higher RPM, go faster sooner. It's for more spirited driving. And the gauges are exclusive on the sport. It says sport. They're rimmed in orange. You've kind of got that faux carbon fiber in the back of the gauge. Looks good, my opinion. Heated steering wheel, which is great. Then we have these 3 buttons, these arrows, and this is kind of our set or our enter or select. So these arrows control here. So we've got our digital speedo up. We've got how long it's shut off at intersections, how many milliliters of fuel it's saved. You can change settings. You've got fuel economy for trip A, trip B, estimated distance to empty, how long it's been running for, and digital speedo. Most people like the digital speedo. I'm one of those people. Our little multifunction display up here, which, as I mentioned, you can change with the info button on the steering wheel. It gives you different information depending what you want to look at while you're driving. Put safety techs on. This is the off-road / X mode screen. Gauges, widgets, you can change those around. It's also our climate control displays. And it is dual zone climate, and it ranges from 30 on the high side all the way down to 15. Freezing to tropical, depending how you and your passengers like it. Easy to sync it back. You can see where your fan strength is. You can see where your airflow is being directed. You always have your time up there, and you always have your outside thermometer. But it is nice. It's just a quick glance down there, and then you're back up at the road. You don't have to focus on something right here and then back up the road. A little easier on the eyes, which is nice. Below that,